Ever found yourself tangled in the labyrinth of writing a research paper, staring at a blank page, wondering how to start, what to include, or how to conclude? Fret not, for today, we dive into the process of crafting a research paper, breaking it down into clear, manageable steps. First and foremost, every research paper starts with a background. This serves as the foundation, where the topic is introduced and reason for the study is explained. For instance, if your research paper is about the effects of climate change on agriculture, your background might delve into the rise in global temperatures and how has impacted farming practices globally in the past few decades. The focus should be on answering the question, why does this research matter? It's not just about stating the facts. It's about painting a picture that shows your paper is relevant, why it's worth the reader's time. By outlining the direct correlation between climate change and dwindling crop yields, you underscore the urgency and relevance of your study. Following the background, we delve into the literature review. This is a crucial part of any research paper. It provides an overview of existing studies related to your topic. So, if you're studying the effects of climate change on agriculture, you might discuss previous research on climate patterns, farming practices, and crop yields. This helps to establish the context of your research, showing where your study fits in the broader academic conversation. But it's not just a summary of existing work. A good literature review also identifies gaps in the current knowledge. Maybe previous studies didn't consider certain variables, or perhaps they didn't have access to the latest data. This is where your research comes in, aiming to fill these gaps and contribute something new to the field. Remember, a good literature review doesn't just list studies, it analyzes them, finding connections and highlighting gaps. It's about showing how your research builds on what's come before, while also breaking new ground. Next comes the methodology. This is the blueprint of your research, where you detail the steps taken to gather and analyze your data. Let's consider an example. If you're researching the effects of climate change on agriculture, your methodology might involve collecting data from different agricultural regions, analyzing patterns of rainfall, temperature, and crop yields over the years. Also, using sophisticated modeling tools to predict future trends based on historical data. This way, you are establishing a clear process and showing the thoroughness of your work. Remember, transparency is key. You want your readers to understand your process, from data collection to data analysis. So make sure to explain the tools, techniques, and strategies used in your research. Then, we transition to the results. This is the crux of your research paper where your discoveries are unveiled. Let's take an example of a research paper on the effects of climate change on agriculture. The results might include data as the decrease in crop yields in specific regions over the past decade, or the correlation between rising temperatures and increased pest activity. Remember, the information stands as it is. It isn't about your personal inferences, emotions. It's about what the data discloses. Ensure accuracy, maintain clarity, and let the evidence narrate the story. Finally, we arrive at the conclusion and recommendation. For instance, if we were concluding a research paper on the effects of climate change on agriculture, we might summarize our findings as follows. R indicates that climate change has a significant impact on agricultural yields, particularly in areas prone to drought. The increased frequency of extreme weather events, coupled with rising temperatures, is likely to exacerbate food insecurity in the future. As to the recommendation, we could suggest future research should focus on developing climate-resilient farming practices and investigating the potential of drought-resistant crop varieties. Additionally, policy measures are needed to support farmers in adapting to these changes. This is where you wrap up your research, restating your discoveries and proposing future directions for investigation. Here you have the opportunity to reflect on your work, to highlight its implications, and to propose next steps. So, in summary, writing a research paper involves 4 key stages. Start with the background, laying the foundation for your study. Proceed with the methodology, detailing your research process. Present your results, letting the data tell the story. And conclude with a thoughtful wrap-up and recommendation for future research. In essence, writing a research paper is like embarking on a journey. You start with a question, navigate through the process, discover new insights, and emerge with a deeper understanding. It's challenging, yes, but with these steps in hand, it becomes a journey well worth taking.